Android tablets are in a weird limbo where there is seemingly a market but not much real support from Google. But with that said, this is the Huawei MediaPad M5 Lite, a sub $300 tablet that is actually a pretty easy recommendation, although it does have a few flaws. 9 to 5 Google on YouTube is sponsored by the Movavi Video Suite and Movavi FX Store. The Movavi Video Suite is an easy to use editing suite for those that even have no video editing experience. Not only does it help you create videos, it also helps you convert media files, capture your screen, and much more, including a full video library of built-in effects, filters, and a full suite of editing tools. Download Movavi Video Suite today and use code 9to5Google to get 10% discount. Firstly, let's start by going over the hardware. It looks like Huawei has taken some design cues from Samsung with the capacitive touch button at the front, but the metal build does remind me of older MacBook models round back. The bezels aren't small, but I wouldn't say they're exactly big either. I must say I am a fan of these bezels as it does give you something to hold on to when using the tablet. On the sides of the body you'll find a USB-C charge port and a headphone port, along with 4 outward firing speakers, which actually aren't that bad at all. I must say there is a distinct lack of bass though in the audio, but it does stay crystal clear even when at max volume. As for the display, it really is pretty impressive. At 920 by 1200 pixels, this IPS LCD panel is actually really nice up close. Viewing angles and colours are superb. It only really does pose a problem when you dig deeper and look a little bit closer. The display is also not exactly perfect in direct sunlight, but overall I am a big fan of it. The M5 Lite also comes bundled with an M Pen stylus, which although solid and actually pretty accurate in practice, can't be attached to the tablet in any way. This potential misplacing aside, it does work well with the EMUI 8.0 skin atop Android 8.0 Oreo, the writing to text keyboard being a particular highlight. I will say though that the overall software experience is a bit of a mixed bag. Part of that is due to the hefty skin, but part of that is also due to the lack of app optimization for Android tablets. I instantly stuck Nova Launcher on the M5 Lite to negate some issues, but many apps simply work better in portrait than they do in landscape mode. The keyboard is arguably my biggest gripe. Even with Gboard in pop-out mode, it really is frustrating to use in landscape, so I tend to use the tablet mainly in portrait mode unless watching Netflix or YouTube. Overall performance again is also a little bit mixed. Simply browsing the web or watching a video is fine, but the Kirin 659 chipset and 3GB of RAM start to creak when opening multiple apps at once or really putting the tablet through its paces. In terms of gaming, I've only really played Super Mario Run on this device, and that does run pretty well. Other 3D titles like Asphalt 9 are prone to issues with pixelation on a display this big though. Even with the software being a tad disappointing, the battery life most definitely isn't. At 7,500 mAh, it really is a big boy that can manage a solid 10 hours of usage in my use case scenario. I've been able to watch multiple movies on Netflix whilst travelling, and it only sipped at the battery, taking around about 20% battery life on a 4-hour flight. In standby mode, it can last around about a week or so without really breaking a sweat. As for charging, it takes around about 3 hours to go from 0 to 100% when using a fast charger. I must admit I did sweat about the storage capacity with it only being 32GB, but it can be expanded via micro SD card up to 256GB. You might want that expanded storage if you take photos, although I have to say the camera is so bad that I wouldn't recommend using it. That said, the front facing and rear facing cameras are both 8 megapixels for what it's worth. Just to give you an example of the quality of the cameras, here's a few sample shots. Overall, the MediaPad M5 Lite is a decent little tablet that might appeal to those out there who simply want a decent display for Netflix that will last all day long. And priced at around $300, I think it's not a bad deal all things considered. Let us know what you think in the comment section below, but remember to keep it civil. Then before you head off, leave a like and subscribe to the channel for more content just like this. This is Damien from 9to5Google saying thanks again for watching, and I will speak to you later.